So often I get questions from people in Washington, whether they're in the mainstream media or they're part of the Democratic Party, or they just live and breathe in Washington and New York as well. Why, why do you guys think that Hillary Clinton is corrupt or has any kind of problems? I don't get it. Why does the country say that? Why are her poll numbers not so great? I don't get it. The reason they don't get it is because they're in the same bubble as she is. They're in the same culture as she is. They're in the same class as she is. So to them, they genuinely like Hillary Clinton. They roughly know her. They know her team. They work with her team. They are all in the same circle. So they don't get it. So that's why when I made my prediction that Hillary Clinton would win, but by a razor-thin margin, and I've been saying this election is going to be super close from months ago, right after the Democratic Convention, when I was on ABC This Week, I said, at that point, and they said not at the end, but at that point, where do you stand? At that point, I thought Trump had a slight advantage. But I've always thought, and I've always told you guys, for as long as we've known who the two candidates are, that this was going to be a razor-thin election. The reason I think that is because I know that Hillary Clinton's support in the country is super soft. People do not like her. That's not my anecdotal evidence. That's not the cocktail circuit. Those are polls. She's the second most disliked candidate in American history. She's lucky to be running against the most unpopular candidate in American history as long as we've had polling. But you think that that's just that the American people are wrong? And yes, in Washington they think that, the American people sitting there in Ohio and Florida, they don't know what they're doing. The uneducated masses. No, Hillary's great. If they just had more education, they'd know and like her as much as we do. No, they're not wrong. Now, apparently you don't understand, so I'm going to explain it to you, okay? So, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton together have taken over $3 billion in terms of direct salaries through speeches, etc., from multinational corporations and banks. They've also taken campaign donations, independent expenditures, and money to the Clinton Foundation. When you put all that together for their career over the last 40 years, they've taken $3 billion. Now you say, hey, 40 years is a long time, and one of those is a charity. Yes, but it's not $3 million. It's $3 billion. And the Clintons themselves are worth at least $150 million. Now, you in Washington find that perfectly normal. The rest of the country goes, somebody's going to want something in return for that $3 billion. You know why? Because it's not because they're stupid. It's not because they're local yokels. No, it's because they have normal common sense. Somebody gives you that much money, they want something in return. Everybody outside of Washington and New York knows that. You in Washington and New York, you also know that, but you've forgotten it. Very conveniently forgotten it. Now then, folks in the establishment say, well, I don't get it. She's not the most corrupt candidate. That's true, she's not. I can name you dozens of politicians that are more corrupt, both on the Republican and Democratic side, people who've taken literal bribes, and then people who work for their donors even more enthusiastically. John Boehner would literally hand out checks for the tobacco industry in the middle of a vote on the tobacco industry, on the floor of the House. He'd be like, here's your check, here's your check. He's incredibly corrupt. And I can list you literally hundreds of other politicians that are that corrupt. So why pick on poor Hillary Clinton? Because even though she might not be the most corrupt, she is a symbol of that corruption. Get it through your head, because you don't get it. Because here she is, she's a living embodiment of the establishment, the status quo, this system that the whole country believes has been corrupted. Over 90% of Americans believe that money corrupts politics. And look, this is one measure, and by this measure, there's an argument for the Clintons being the most corrupt. They've taken the most amount of money, $3 billion. You can say until you're blue in the face, but that's not fair. Some of it went to charity. And boy, those speeches were fantastic. And I would have paid $225,000 for those speeches too. Yeah, maybe. But not a lot of people are buying that. Of course they want something in return. There's a story out from the Podesta emails about how companies pay into the Clinton Foundation and give direct money to the Clintons, Bill Clinton, for speaking so that they can get an audience with Hillary Clinton because they've got important cases, billions of dollars in cases in front of the U.S. government. We see the corruption. You have purposely chosen in Washington and New York, because you're part of the establishment, not to see that corruption. But the rest of us see it clear as day. Now, that doesn't mean she's worse than Donald Trump. I have argued the opposite. But just because she's not as bad as Mussolini doesn't make her an angel. Get it through your thick head. The American people see the problems with Hillary Clinton. So, why are they so upset, the American people? Because they're right. The system has been rigged. We live in a Walmart economy where the guys who used to have some degree of, respect in their jobs and in their lives, and they'd go out and they'd work on an assembly line or a great number of other jobs. Now, everybody's working minimum wage and God, it kills them, but they got to go get food stamps. And yeah, they're blaming the wrong people for the problems. Some of them are Democrats, some of them are Republicans, but they're getting crushed out there. Why? Well, those multinational corporations gave billions of dollars to politicians. And in return, they got lower taxes. They got to offshore all their tax burdens. So, quote unquote, bad companies, companies that a lot of liberals don't like ExxonMobil, but also quote unquote good companies, Apple. I like Apple, I got an iPhone. But I don't like that they hide billions of dollars of their money offshore, and they do. Why? Because they know that they pay off the politicians, and every once in a while, instead of paying 35% in taxes, the politicians make a deal and they pay 5% in taxes for their tax holiday. That's how they crush us. That is how you get income inequality. The minimum wage hasn't moved in years upon years upon years. We're arguing whether it should be $15. In federal minimum wages right now, $7.25. That's what creates this crushing economy. Yeah, you might have a job, but it ain't a good one. It's not one you're excited about. It's not one you're proud of. It's not one that you want to pass on to your kids. It's real. And Hillary Clinton is the embodiment of that corrupt system. And you wonder why her support is so soft. You wonder why a week out from the election, she's now tied or losing to Donald Trump. That's why. That's why. Open your eyes. We've been on the Young Turks, on this show, we've been trying to get you to open your eyes for now over a year through this entire election process. It wasn't so that we could brag about being right. It's that so you can get on the right path so that we don't have a monster like Donald Trump winning. But you can't see straight. You can't see straight. No, I don't see the corruption. I don't see it. You guys are all being unfair. Hillary's great. Why can't you guys see that she's great? She's not great. The American people don't think that. They think she is part, not in whole, not solely responsible, nowhere near it, but part of that systemic corruption. So when you talk about that overall, the system, it is not one person. The Clintons didn't fix it by themselves. My God, the Republicans, the guys who claim that they're against crony capitalism, they mastered the art of crony capitalism. Almost everything they do is in service of the donors. The way that Scott Walker will follow orders of his donors to a T is humiliating. It's embarrassing. And I can go down the list, Paul Ryan, Chris Christie, you name it, all of them giving millions, sometimes billions of dollars in favors to their donors. The way that Ted Cruz grovels to the Mercers. Oh, I've got principles. I'm not going to endorse Donald Trump. The guys who gave him $13 million, the Mercer family goes, you endorse him. He goes, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. And he endorses them. I know they're all corrupt. But yes, Hillary's part of that. Yes, it takes a village. It takes a village to do that kind of systemic corruption. But she's perceived by a lot of Americans as the mayor of that village. And the reason you can't see that if you live in Washington or New York and you're part of the establishment is because it's your village. You're in that village. And I'm here to tell you that you've got it all wrong. Hillary Clinton is an enormously weak candidate because of all the things that I just outlined here. Now, there's a week left. I don't know that there's much you could do about it. We warned you 1,000 times. We didn't warn you because we wanted all of you guys to be in trouble and for the system to crash overnight. We don't want to burn down the media. Are you crazy? We're not right-wingers. We want to help the media get better so you don't play he said, she said games. I don't want the economy to crash. I want the economy to get better. We warn you about all that, not because we were against you, but because we thought we could make this country better by fixing that corrupt system, and we're going to. No matter who wins, we're going to fight not just as hard, twice as hard, whether it's Trump or Clinton. And we're not going to stop until we win. We will beat this establishment because it is crushing the American people. But all this also done so that a monster, borderline fascist like Trump doesn't get in charge. Because if you don't fix the underlying problem, you're going to get a populist who wins. The only question is it a populist on the left or a populist on the right? And what you have enabled is a monster like Trump to pretend to be a populist from the right and is now this close to winning and becoming the most powerful man on earth. We warned you. Turn around, for God's sake, turn around. That doesn't mean you don't vote for Hillary Clinton today. That certainly doesn't mean you vote for Donald Trump. I'm talking about after the election. There's only a week left now to the election. There's not much you can do. She can't reposition herself now, nor would I want her to. It would be utterly false, just like everything else. And you see it in the Podesta emails. She says, I have a private face and a public face. And those things, my positions oftentimes are not the same publicly and privately. We know it. I read the emails. You even know it. You just don't want to acknowledge it. But after the election is over, if she wins by that razor-thin margin, and you think, oh, problem averted, we're done with it. We're done. We don't need this anymore. Now the establishment's back in charge. Let's keep giving those tax breaks to the incredibly rich and the multinational corporations and to our donors and just call it normal. Hey, it's just normal. What are you guys getting all upset over? Well, next time, you'll have a monster like Trump, but he won't be so stupid. And then he might not only win, but go further than that, bring in majorities with him and really gain control. For God's sake, turn around, because it's the right thing to do. Plus, if you don't, you're going to get slaughtered. If it isn't a week from now, I guarantee you it'll be 4 years from now. You power the Young Turks. We do this all through membership. tytnetwork.com/join. Let's build the media that we can believe in.